What's cracking, YouTube? It's your boy, Goldie Boy, the shiny one, coming from pot of T.H.C. And like I said, I wanted to say I appreciate you guys being patient with your boy. I know I've been gone, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of extra bonus content on my deck profile. It is check it out. Like I said, at pot of T.H.C, my top 32 Dynamorphia deck profile, real spicy. You guys are gonna love it. And I just wanted to come through a little extra something, a little cherry on the top. It's a little deck that it's near dear to my heart. It's in the Dino vein, and I just picked it back up recently. Just been playing with it, having a little fun with the recent changes to the ban list and whatnot, making this deck pretty favorable. There are some cards that I want to pick up for the deck to make it that much more dope and copacetic to do what it needs to do and completely control and win the game. But sadly, I don't have all those cards that I would like to have for it. But nonetheless, it's pretty complete. I've been playing with it online, and I will be getting more in-person duels with it. That way, I can get better results, more in-person results when I take it to locals this weekend. And it's pretty cool, man. I think it'll surprise you. And this is something that I haven't really seen. This type of deck built this way. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's Phantasm Spirals. I haven't seen the deck built this way. When I get all the cards that I want for it to make it really pop and spicy the way I like it, I'm planning to like really potentially take this to a regionals. And I'm not gonna lie, like I would love to troll with this deck because it's pretty funny, man, and it's so satisfying getting W's with this deck. But nonetheless, though, let's get to this bad boy. Let's bust it down, and we're gonna start this profile off with 3 Megalo Smasher X, or I like to call I call him XOR. Like this is the OG X-Man right here. Like this is like the first X-Man right here, but dinosaur form. But I mean, this man's nutty. 2000 tag, 0 defense. This man eats blue eyes for breakfast like nobody's business, puts in that work. You normal summon them with the field spell. Pacific is on board. You get a search, and you can play the traps from the hand as long as the field spell is activated on the board. And it's just crazy. This is to punch your opponent in the face with a 2000 vanilla monster is so satisfying to win and watch that life point hit 0. This is truly what Yu-Gi-Oh is all about right here. So definitely 3 of these guys. And this is where it's gonna get a little spicy. We're playing 3 blue girls. We got blue boy, she's blue girl. She ain't searching you spell books, but she's searching you something just as powerful. This girl right here, blue girl, she allows you to banish her. You get your Rite of Ambassador, which gives you, guess what? A normal token who's 2000 attack. So we literally 2000 spamming all day. So poke, poke, poke. In 2 turns, you're dead. And she basically gets you to a token which searches you, your traps, your Phantasm Spiral traps, and also gives you an Omni Negate and Griffin. So she's so clutch. I love this card, and what's so great, she plays in combos excellently with the next card, which is obviously you got the Griffin, but he's our Omni Negate, and he bounces himself back, so he's coming back every turn with the Adventure Engine, with Faithful Adventure. He's gonna be back every time, and he's clutch at what he does. So, like I said, the whole Adventure Engine package, it plays so clutch with the original Shifty boy, D Shifter. This man, I mean, what can I say? Tear cry. We ain't worried about flu because we got stuff in here for flu, but Tear and anything else that plays out the graveyard, Dark Worlds, Infernities, whatever you name it, if they play out the graveyard, my boy Shifty boy gonna let you have it, and you gonna get this work, and your mood just might shift, just like your life points will shift. So like straight clutch. I love D Shifter. Literally clutch, wins me games every time I see him. Then we're going off to the spells, and you know what's so perfect about this list? I got it down to 10 monsters, so it's like the perfect ratio. 10 monsters, so we're off to the spells. I'm pot of T.H.C. Gotta have a little bro. 3 pot of extras. I think that this is the better of prosperity, just because this type of deck, since it's more so a normal monster centric deck, this deck thrives more, to me at least, off of the +1 versus the break evens that Pot of Prosperity gives this deck. So I felt like, you know, getting the +1 was more viable than actually, you know what I'm saying? Because now with the ban list that came out recently, we have 3 metaverse now. So 3 metaverse plus 3 Pacifics and terraforming. That's literally 7 ways. So literally, I feel this deck is more than enough equipped with ways to get to the field spell, as well as we have the adventure engine, we have shifters, and like you have more than enough ways to basically survive and thrive and break boards with. And I felt like this card was so crucial to getting to these, being the +1 factor, and you don't care about your extra deck anyway. So Extrav is just so good in this deck. Next, 1 terraforming and 3 Pacifics. Terraforming obviously for searching Pacifics. Pacifics itself, man, is such a great card. It's great, and it causes probably the most grueling headaches ever because of how this card is. So basically, if your opponent sneezes wrong, if they test positive for little Vitty, if they find out that their child is going to, you know, their wife is going to labor, giving birth to their child, whatever you name it, like the world could be ending. You could be getting a new promotion, whatever it is, man. The way Konami made this card, anything, this card will resolve on a new chain, on resolution, and you will get a token, 2,000, level 7, and you will be able to search your Phantasm Spiral traps and be able to just pop off from there. And it's not a once per turn to summon the token, so you could pop it with Regeki, with Lightning Storm, whatever. As long as you do anything and this is active, I'll just be able to get another token, and I'll just keep spamming them. So this is the beauty of this deck, why it's so good, is because normally the normal way people would just beat this deck would be to just normal summon monsters and not activate their effects and then just attack. But now that we have the adventure engine, which guarantees even more ways to see a normal body, between the adventure token and the Megalo Smasher X's, your opponent's they're gonna have to play the game. So you put them in position to where they have to play the game, and by them playing the game, this will always be live, which is what you want, which is what I want them to do. So this deck is no longer a proactive deck waiting for the opponent to do something. It's very reactive just as much as it is proactive, which is what I love about the way that I have this deck built now. So I love this card. Like this is such a dope archetype, man. I'm hoping they get new support soon, Konami. Like give them like a trap where they could play from the hand that banishes or something like that. That would be so cool. Like even like a Book of Moon trap or something, like that'd be so dope. So next we have even more searching. 1 fish sonar, and 2 fossil digs. The fish sonar is just for the flex, but in all honesty, the fish sonar is really dope. It's really clutch. I like the fish sonar, and I'm gonna get 2 more, and I'm gonna go from 2 fossil digs to 3 fish sonars and 1 fossil dig, because what's so good about the fish sonars is that you can special summon if you have the Umi. You don't just get the search, which is dope. So you can have a fossil dig in hand and then special summon with fish sonar, and then you can go right into your XYZ plays or whatever you want to do, links, etc. And the fossil digs, they just get you to the Megalo Smasher X. So basically these cards, they just allow more consistency. And once I get 2 more copies of fish sonar, I'm definitely gonna go to 3, if not 2, and keep it just 2/2. That way I have a way of special summoning and adding, and I'm really liking a fish sonar because it's a better unexpected die in a sense. You know, you don't have to worry about what unexpected die. If you have a token on board, then you can't special summon. It's just a dead card. Whereas fish sonar can dub as a search and basically an E-Telly, special summoning. So I love that about the card. And next we have the Rite of Emissary package, more of the adventure package. We have 3 Rite of Emissary, which is so good, so clutch. Like I said, it makes that token, it makes the deck very, very more reactive with its plays, more explosive in the plays and whatnot, just popping off. So this could turn into a search on my turn, and then I could search the Griffin with the Faithful Adventure. We have a Draco back with the Faithful Adventure, I can get the Griffin and summon the Griffin on my opponent's turn. So I can Omni negate or hold the Griffin until it's called for. I can pop off, use my Phantasm Spiral Trap. Then I could special summon the Griffin, and even though I can't trigger my Pacifics because I summoned an effect monster, it's an Omni negate. So as long as I have the token and Griffin will always put itself back, I can literally just control the board like that and just keep looping over and over. I'm summoning tokens. I'm popping off. It's just a constant recycling. And Griffin will never be an issue because it gets itself off of the board, which is great for the deck. So it's truly like this engine itself is just truly great. It's magnificent at what it does, and what's so great about it is the Draco Bag. The Draco Bag gives me a constant looping bouncing effect. So between Griffin, the token, and the Draco Bag itself, like this would Rite of Emissary and Pacifics is literally an easy 4 cards of interaction from the Draco Bag bouncing something, the token getting me a trap that I can play from the hand, Griffin negating something. It's incredible, man. It's incredible. And that'll do it for the spell. So now we're gonna get to the traps. And with the traps, we got 2 Metaverse. I cut one for I want to play more Floodgate, so I just cut one. The deck still thrives. You have so many ways to see it. So even though you have only 6 ways to see your Phantasm Spiral, you still see it, and you don't necessarily need it because, like I said, the Adventure Engine, it covers just as much ground because the Adventure Engine itself, it requires at least two forms of interruption to even interact with it. So that's great. So you'll be depleting your opponent's resources with the Adventure Engine alone. So Metaverse is great. It gets you to it doesn't just add, it activates your Phantasm Spiral directly on the field. So that is definitely what makes the deck thrive, and we want to see this card as much as possible. And of course, I got Grave Route again. I can't figure out for the life of me where my 3rd battle is, but he's definitely one of the cards you're searching most of the time. And his partner in crime is Phantasm Spiral Power. Spiral is real clutch. It's a effect veiler / shrink. When you activate it, I typically like to activate it in the dam step when I'm trying to get rid of a big monster. It cuts your opponent's monster by 1,000, so it's real clutch. It comes in the clutch all the time. Sometimes I think about bumping this to 2. And I think whenever I make my revisions, I may go 3 battle and 2 power, or I may keep it like this and just go 2 power and 2 battles, just because of the format that we're in, where everything is constantly floating in the grave or whatnot. So it's something that I'll keep in mind and something I'll have to test more with. But these cards are great. Battle, you don't have to just target just a monster. You could target anything on the field, back row, field spells, etc. So these are pretty good cards. Then I have, for the continuous traps, I have 2 Sea Stealths. Sea Stealth attack is real dope. It allows you to protect your activated, basically your face up spell and trap cards, which is really good. And it also turns your token, your level 7 Pacifics token, into a Catastrophe, which is great for more control over the board. So it's really great. This card is really dope. And what I really like about it is that most people, they'll leave this on board and forget that this card not only gets rid of your Phantasm Spiral tokens to protect your face-up spells and traps, but it also can get your Pacifics back. If they happen to deal with it, you can just flip it, activate its effect, and it'll fetch your Pacifics from the graveyard and activate it in the field spell zone, which is pretty good, and it's won me some games. So this card is definitely pretty clutch. And this was one of the continuous traps that I cut one Metaverse for, 2 summon limits, because it's all about controlling the board. You want to stop your opponent from spamming crazy boards, because again, this is a technically a normal monster deck, and this deck can only do so much more. This deck doesn't combo willy-nilly and make all these crazy plays. It makes one to 2 summons a turn. It pretty much a summon a turn. So if I can limit my opponent and what they're doing, then it's more powerful for me. I can control the game state, which is what you want to do with this deck. So this card is definitely, I think, earns a spot in the deck as it helps you simplify and keep the game state from getting too wild and getting out of hand. And then more continuous traps. Obviously, this is like one of the heart and souls right next to Pacifics itself, man. Skill drain, it just covers so much ground. It hurts Tier, it hurts Flu, and this is pretty much, this is all like this is like a Flu hate card, definitely. You flip skill drain, them little birds are not doing anything, and then you just systematically just pick them apart with your adventure and your Phantasm Spiral engine. So this card is really good, really clutch, and you don't have to worry about the Harvey's Feather Storm. You like Tier struggle with this. Their Baguska does nothing on the skill drain. Like, they pretty much reduced to playing out of the graveyard, and anything else that has to hit the board and doesn't activate in the hand or in the graveyard, they're pretty much screwed. So this card right here, it just wins games. And skill drain, gotta have a partner in crime. A skill drain being the 3 silent strikes. The old man, this is crucial. Negating summons, certain grave effects, certain hand effects, you name it. Strike covers all that ground, and it puts in work. I feel like this is always necessary. It's always needed in this type of deck because it is a going second card, it's a going first card. It covers just so many grounds, and you just never know. Your opponent can have a fleur-de-lis on board and can negate something, and boom, you can deal with it just like that. No problem. Great for taking out really big, powerful boss monsters. So that was the main perfect 40. Now we're going to go to extra deck. I have 2 Lagias. I have 2 Dokas. And I have 2 Bahamut Sharks. And I have 2 Totally Awesomes. So basically, these are basically my controllers, basically controlling the game state. Lagia can negate summons as well as spells and traps. Doka negates monster effects. Bahamut Shark, he's just the bridge to get to my other Omni Negate and Totally Awesome. So, and when Toda gets sent to the graveyard, it can basically fetch me a dead Megalo Smasher that's in the graveyard, so I can summon them again and trigger my Pacifics and get back into search of my traps. So these cards are all clutch. They all serve their roles. It just depends on the scenario, on what the situation calls for. Do I need to negate a summon? Do I need to, if I need to negate a spell or a trap, I'm probably just gonna go to Totally Awesome route just because it gives me an extra body, a nice 2600 attacker. And I could just, that way I could keep looping and I could just keep summoning the toe, especially if I know that I could just, it can put itself back, so I could just keep looping the toes and I'll just keep making Bahamut Sharks and looping it over and over. So it just depends on the scenario and the situation and what it calls for. Because sometimes I may need monster negates, so I'll just make a Doka because I have 2 of them, versus with detaching 2 from the Lagia. So these are all good packages right here. And then the rest of my water package for the extra deck is, you gotta play Dweller. Dweller is, in a sense, he's a D-shifter just without banishing. He controls the graveyard. Your opponent can activate any effects, and since your Megalo Smashers are waters, they get the 500 boost. So Abyss Dweller gets pretty big, and that's pretty good. That's pretty clutch. And Dweller himself in this format, he wins games all on his own. So you make a Dweller with 2 Megalo Smashers, you're pretty much winning that game. And just a small little Kragan control package. Make everything on the board water, pop something. Nothing more really to say about it. I had Gozen in the side deck. I took it out for something else. I'm gonna do some more testing because in theory this is great with Gozen, and that was pretty much the reason I put it in there, because I could stop my opponent from basically summoning. Once they summon anything to the board, they immediately go to water, and then what goes in, they couldn't commit anything else to the board. So if you play against Flu, they summon something, it goes to water, so they couldn't they couldn't activate their effects to keep summoning, spamming, and tribute and whatnot because the Kragan control with the Gozen, it's just it shuts all that down. Same thing with Tyr. Their darks. There, I think there's only one or two waters, so it basically shuts all of that down. And then these are just spicy Waking the Dragon targets. War from the Last Planet to stop summons, any type of summons. I think the only thing that it doesn't stop is flip summons. Oh wait, no, it doesn't stop flip summons. So it stops all summons basically. So no summons for you. And unkillable, Omni Negate. Hard to deal with this Dragoon. What can I say? he's definitely got plot armor. This is plot armor at its fullest, and if I'm just dealing with something where it's strictly monster negates, monster effects or whatnot, Rexstrom, he'll definitely cover that. So these guys, they all have their situations where it's called for. I'm summoning Dragoon against like Sprite, possibly Tyr. It just depends on what they have at that moment, because it's hard to deal with this. War of the Last Planet, I mean, this is clutch against Flu, this is clutch against Tyr because they can't do anything. Rexstrom, this is great against Sprite, this is great against Flu. It just all calls on the matchup in the situation that I'm in, where I'll, depending which one I'll bring out. So that'll do it for the extra deck. And last but not least, the side deck. So for the side, playing 3 Lava Golem because you want to break the board, obviously. So this card is really good at breaking the board. Spicy as it gets, this is literally hot sauce, man. This is hot sauce, man. This man's breaking boards. So you got Fleur, any problematic Omni Negates, big monsters, unkillable targets. Lava Golem's your guy. Then of course, more Tyr hate. You got different dimension grounds. Makes everything everything banish for that turn. So this is great. Letting my opponent commit and flipping this, and it depletes all their resources, and it makes it that much more easier for me to finish and win the game. Obviously more Tyr and extra deck hate. So 3D barriers. So Exo Sisters, no XYZs for you. Sword Soul, no Sacrals for you. Tyr, no fusions for you. Any ritual decks, no rituals for you. Clutch. There can only be one, so I may rotate this back to goals, and I put this in here just because it just made sense. You know, like your Pacific's token is Worm, Melo Smasher's Dinosaur. The adventure token, I think it's a fairy. Griffin's a winged beast, so it just made sense that, you know, there can only be one with fit in this deck. It made sure. So I'll either cut it out, or maybe I'll try to figure out a way to get it in the main deck, and some way to try to get this and goals in, because I mean this is a great card. Mid wins games. This against Flu, this is more Flu hate. They can't do anything with this. So they're only limited to summoning one winged beast. So that's actually pretty funny when I flip this over, where I can just keep spamming my Griffins and keep summoning tokens over and over again. Obviously, like I said, Waking the Dragons. I'm not playing Judgment because I actually want my opponent, like I want them to feel confident, because literally playing at the TCG Con locals and just any tournaments that I've been playing on, I just love the arrogantness of the players that I play against, where they're just so casual about destroying back row with Harpies. My opponents always have Harpies or Lightning Storm, and they destroy it without even batting an eye. So I figure I'm gonna punish them with Waking the Dragon, and when they're staring down a Dragoon or a Rexstrom or a Warrior from Another Planet, like it's such a satisfying feeling, like that by them destroying this, it could be game over for them, thinking that they're getting a W by destroying my back row, and it actually turns into a neg for them. So this card is definitely good. And finally, my last board breakers, how I deal with back row decks or just monster heavy decks, because they're not really making negates, or at least spell trap negates. I do know they make Drago's Stapelia. Same thing with Flu. They're not really making like any spell trap negates. So this is like great for like breaking those boards, Exorcisms, etc. You know, you flip over, you hit them with the evenly match, you break that board, you simplify the game state, and then you just set up your Phantasm stuff, your back rows, and you tell them, hey, play, and they pretty much, you know, scoop it up. And once that skill drain comes out, once the tokens start flowing, yeah, it's pretty much game over. So this has been the deck profile for my Phantasm Adventure Spiral. Like and subscribe, share with friends. I got more dope content coming your way. Just stay tuned. I'm grabbing as many cards as I need for my next deck profiles, and like I said, we're making changes to the channel, and it's gonna be great. I'm looking forward to kicking it with you guys, getting feedback. So stay posted. See you guys soon. It's your boy, the Shining Goatee Boy. Be blessed. Stay copacetic.